Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Samp&Chance. I am your host, Bobby Sampson. Joined with me in the horrible colors of the Oilers, Mr. Chance Michaels.
And
How are you,
Gretzky,
my friend?
baby. I'm doing
Eh,
wonderful. What about yourself?
can't complain, man. Actually, of all the Alberta teams, I think I have no issues with Edmonton. I can't stand Calgary. Don't like Calgary
No, I
fans.
don't care for them either.
No, Oilers, yeah, they were pretty good. I liked them back in the day. I guess it was that Gretzky effect, right? As a little
Yeah,
kid.
that's what made me like them.
Yeah, yeah. But unfortunately, I was born a Habs fan, so I never got a chance to actually like the Oilers. So,
No,
and they
Habs got a
never,
good history.
they do. I mean, history aside, I was just born into it. Like I never really chose them. It was kind of chosen for me. But anyways, what a week in boxing we had, my friend.
It was three big fights, four actually.
Wow, there was a lot of big fights, man. I mean, throughout the whole day. Let's get started. Let's go straight to
Yeah,
England and cover the all-female card. I mean, the card itself was really good. You had three Olympians fighting in the undercard, which was really cool to see. The O2
yeah.
was sold out. I mean, these women put on a great show. But let's get to the two main fights here. Let's start
Let's do
with
it.
Michaela Mayer and Alicia Baumgartner. Split decision here. A lot of people feel that Michaela won. Michaela feels that she won. You know what? I'm
What
going to
does
go on
Bobby
the other
Sampson
side.
feel?
I feel that Alicia Baumgartner got the job done. I mean, I think it was the right call. Michaela, yeah, she stood steadfast and whatnot, but I think Alicia took more of the risks. She came out a little bit harder. Michaela's saying that she felt that she thought she lost. She could see it in her eyes at the end of the fight and whatnot. But at the end of the day, I think they got it right this time. I really do. I mean,
They did. The judges got it right. Yeah,
she out punched her. So I mean,
they did.
if you're not gonna count punches landed and whatnot, then what's the point of throwing any punches? I say,
No, fair enough. I agree with you on
right?
that.
So from that perspective, yeah, absolutely. She didn't dominate, but
Yeah,
she got the job done. And maybe Michaela needed to do more. She needed to kind of, she was coming in with the bigger name. So maybe the judges were expecting to see more from her, more power punches, which she did throw more of, but maybe
yeah.
she needed to do a bit more. I don't know what the judges look for per se when they're, scoring these cards or not. Are they looking for aggressiveness? Are they looking for someone in the last 10 seconds of the fight who's coming in with that one power punch? Is that what they're remembering? So, from that perspective, again, I just feel that Michaela could have done more in that sense to kind of build her case. She didn't coast, but she didn't put herself in that dominant position, I felt.
I agree with that analysis. Actually, yeah, she didn't dominate, but she did enough to win.
Yeah, and I think Alicia Baumgartner was showing more heart and she was, kind of I like her. Maybe that's just the other thing. I've become a big fan of this girl. Like, I think she's really cool. I think she's an awesome puncher. The fight against Terry Hatcher before this, she dominated. So, I mean, the girl's legit.
She
In
is.
terms of a rematch, I love the fact that she said, nah, I'm not going to give her a rematch. It's time to move on. I want to unify.
I like when fighters say that. You don't always want to see the same fights. Let's move on and see somebody different. You won the fight, fair and square.
She wants to go undisputed, right? The only way to go undisputed is go for that next belt. You can't go backwards.
Yeah, exactly.
And Michaela's talking about moving up. She wants to fight Katie Taylor. So I mean, maybe this is the opportunity for her to build up her legacy in another division,
Yep.
right? All right, so that's that fight really quickly here. Next fight, the main event of that card at the O2, sold out in London, by the way, man. Sold out.
Yep.
That was really cool. Clarissa Shields, the GOAT. And you know what? After this fight, she definitely is the greatest woman of all time. Uh Savannah Marshall, solid fighter herself. These girls went back and forth, went the full distance. I think Clarissa was saying she couldn't see out of one of her eyes for about half of the fight, but she carried on. She did dominate. I mean, I think Savannah's a bit faster, but I think she also got caught up a little bit in all of it. Being the hometown girl, everybody wanting to see her win, whatnot. But Clarissa, she proved why she's the best. I
He
mean,
won.
she
Yeah.
won handily, man. She won really, really
I think
well.
the judges had it 7 rounds of three or something like that for.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, she
So
controlled the pace, she controlled everything. She got hit. Yeah, absolutely. Savannah Marshall has more of the power, but the defensive prowess of Clarissa Shields kept her at bay. So
yeah,
ultimately, at the end of the day, the right people won here. She avenges the only loss that she has on her record. And now she becomes the only man, female in boxing history to be undisputed in 3 different weight classes, my friend.
It's a good feat, but there's less competition on the women's side too, right? I mean, there wasn't many fighters, but
I
still,
was,
it's a good
I,
accomplishment.
it's a great accomplishment, man, regardless of where you're at, right? I mean, I think the men can learn something from the women.
No,
You
but what
know,
I'm saying is there's
no, no,
more
no.
men in
I know
the
what you're
division, though,
saying.
right?
I know what you're saying. I think the men could, this could have been accomplished in the men's division if they
It
stopped
could.
whining and complaining about who they want to fight and who they don't want to fight and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
It is attainable. It just, if these guys would take a page out of the girls' books, because the girls are fighting the fights that people want to see. They're fighting the right competition, right? No one's ducking anybody in
Well,
the
they're hungry.
women's
They want to
division.
put women's boxing on the map, so they got to do these fights, which I don't blame them. They're doing a good
No,
job.
and they're doing a great job. And in some
Mhm.
cases, I'll be honest, some of those girls' fights were better than the men's fight that night. Not the main ones,
Yeah,
obviously. I think they held their own. But I'm talking the undercards and everything. Like, just the women put on an amazing show there at the O2. Congratulations to them. Congratulations to the UK for putting this on. I hope America does something similar at one point here. There's just a lot of good talent there, brother. But hey, let's move on now. Let's get into the Barclays Center. I thought we'd just talk about these 2 fights pretty quick because they happened, well, not the Anthony Durrell and Caleb Plant.
they were
Um,
saying Anthony Durrell, Caleb Plant fighting all the boxing writers and columnists. I was following along with Twitter and stuff. They were saying one of the before the knockout, one of the worst fights they've ever seen. It was that bad. I didn't think it was quite one of the worst fights I've ever seen, but it wasn't great until that
No,
knockout.
I don't. Well, myself personally, like I said, I mean, it was the longest. Well, no, I guess the Haney fight was longer. But that being
Yeah,
said, I mean, it was a boxing match, right? I mean, I took some good shots out of it that from both sides. Both guys delivered a few shots here and there, but I mean, for the most part, I think both guys were kind of being tentative. They weren't really putting their full front forward, I feel.
yeah, I agree. I just like it was just kind of a boring fight. I mean, it wasn't a lot of action. I don't think it was awful and one of the worst fights ever, like Dan Raphael and all these guys said. But I mean, the one thing I did like about Caleb Plant, he did knock him out. He won the fight, but I don't like that shoveling the dirt on him like it's a grave. I thought that was classless, dude. You just knocked
But
the guy cold. Like I don't like that.
no, I
I
don't
lost
think
some respect for him for that.
I don't think anybody liked him for that. But then again, you know what? I can understand. I'm not agreeing with it,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you're saying.
but I can understand why he did it with all the, you know, things that Darrell was saying. It was kind of a racist move on his part as well, and some of the
When he
comments that
said,
he was
"I'll never
making.
let a white boy beat me,"
Exactly, right?
Bernard Hopkins said that against Joe Calzaghe. He lost to him when he said the same thing. But
But that's the thing. I mean, you're empowering a guy. Like it's bad enough, okay, you're a white guy. Yeah. I
yep.
mean, to be fair, man, I mean, your ancestors and your predecessors did all the evil shit to the people,
Mm-hmm.
yet you have to pay the consequences for all those things,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Like I can get away with so much more. Black people can get away with so much more. You can't say shit.
Can you imagine if Caleb Plant said, "I'll never let a black guy beat me"? He wouldn't. The fight would be called off. He wouldn't
No,
be fighting.
exactly. Like, okay, here's an example. Now I might get in trouble for some of this stuff I'm about to drop here, but you know what? I'm Bobby Sampson. So here's how it goes, straight up, man. You got Black Man Magazine.
Yeah.
Right. And people are proud to have Black Woman and Black Man Magazine, Brown Man Magazine, like Punjab Magazine, whatever you want to call it. Right. We
Yeah.
can we can publish that and everyone be like, yeah, right on. Way to go, people. If you came out with White Guy Magazine,
God,
it would
wouldn't he be
be
allowed?
no, man, it wouldn't even make it to the press.
No, you wouldn't even make it.
You would
Sell
be
the back of your truck,
destroyed.
maybe. That'd be about it.
You would be destroyed, bro.
Oh yeah. Maybe I
That's
lose my
sad.
job. I might even lose my job.
And that's sad. That's really, really unfortunate. I mean, why? And this is coming from a colored guy who's dealt with tons of racism. And when I say
Mm-hmm.
I've dealt with racism, I really feel that the older generations dealt with racism. I don't think this generation really
Not
truly
really. A little
understands,
bit, but not
know
really.
what racism is or what it actually stands for. It's like mental health, it's racism, mental health, um, equal rights. It's all watered down now.
Yeah, I was about to say that the word race has been so diluted because somebody doesn't agree with you. Oh, he's racist. No, he just doesn't like what you said. Doesn't mean it's because of the color of your skin.
Absolutely. Like when we were growing up as children, and I keep saying we, I mean, I'm a little more ahead than you are. So let me put this in context. You live in Brownville,
100%.
where you're the minority.
100%.
Okay, so when I was going to school as a kid, okay, I was the legit minority.
Hmm.
There was four other South Asian kids in my school, including myself. There was four of us in total,
Yeah,
but three of them were in grade 3 or lower. I was already in grade 6.
gotcha.
So growing up my whole life, I only grew up with the white guys,
Yeah,
right? And then that's reflective of the kind of person I am, I guess, in essence. Whereas yourself and majority of people younger than me, 5 to 6 years younger than I am, that's when you saw an influx of a lot of ethnicity coming into the school systems. You go to my sister's school, like my sister and I graduated from the same high school 5 years apart, right? When I
okay.
graduated, there was 20 brown kids. When she graduated, there was over 450 plus,
Yeah,
right?
I
There was
believe
no
that.
shortage. So when people talk about racism and stuff like that, we dealt with racism. Racism, man, in my opinion, is when you're walking down the street and some guy calls you a Punjab, a Hindu, or whatever, your
They're minding your own
derogatories.
business. Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, and it was free to say. They just would say it. They wouldn't even think about it.
no,
Now
that's
you
real
can't.
racism.
That's when it was happening. And we couldn't do anything about it either because at that point there was only, one of us and five white guys, so he never stood a chance.
And no camera phones, no social media to record it or anything, right?
No, not at all, man. Like I got beaten up and tossed around and whatnot. But hey, that's okay. That's the way it is. But point of it all is I think that Caleb had to wrap it up and get it back to where we're supposed to be going here.
Yeah,
Caleb Plant probably felt slighted by
like
that
F you,
comment.
dude. Here, yeah,
Here you go, right? I mean, granted, he knocked out a 37-year-old man on his last couple fights
yeah.
or
I don't
whatever.
blame him for doing it, but I thought he should have took the high road. But
He could have taken the higher, but the emotion, man. I mean, when
yeah, I
you're in
get it.
that
Yeah,
ring
he's got a
and
good
what
fight.
have
Yeah,
you.
yeah. But he hit him hard, man. He was out on his feet before he hit the ground. That Anthony Darrell was, oh, that was savage.
Absolutely. Well, let's go to the main event of the night of that card of
Where if you
the.
went to grab a beer from the fridge, the fight was over. Holy crap.
Well, I mean, it almost lasted a full round. It went
Yeah,
into what,
almost.
like 10 seconds left in the first round. We're talking about the returning Deontay Wilder against Robert Helenius. Um, one punch,
One bunch. A good night. His former
right?
sparring partner too, so they know each other pretty well.
Well, we were talking, when we were previewing this fight, the one thing that we were talking about was, did Tyson Fury write a book on how to beat him?
Hmm.
And I think Robert Helenius read it because he was doing all the right things.
He's trying to, yeah.
He was trying to. He was getting Wilder to walk back. He was, walking him down. Um, Bro, can I ask you a serious question here? Like I've watched the replay 1,000 times. I'm sure you've watched the replay
Yeah,
a
watch it.
thousand times. Is the guy that powerful that he doesn't even have to fully extend his arm? It felt like a short
Yeah,
punch.
he's that powerful. I know. It's crazy.
Like
Probably the best right-handed heavyweight boxing of all
like
time.
I'm not calling fix, but I almost felt like it was a fix in a way because I mean when I looked at that right shot come, like first of all, in real time, you didn't even see it. I
No,
didn't,
no, you
right?
couldn't. He's
And
just
then
down.
when I looked at it in the replay, the one from behind Deontay, so you're actually seeing it, him throw the punch. It
Hmm.
wasn't even a full punch.
No, dude, I think he hits that hard. And I think, Robert's jaw, and he's on, was he 37, 38?
Yeah.
His chin's gone. I mean, but that's how hard Deontay can hit. You
Okay.
don't got a good chin, you're going down. It's
No,
scary.
fair enough. And then I'm not one to call fix or anything, but I swear to God, that looked too easy.
It could be. You never know in
That
boxing.
that punch just looked too easy.
Yeah, he's right there. Boom, he was out.
Right? I
Like,
mean, considering that he didn't really throw much other than that one punch. I mean, wow.
oh, it was crazy. And like I was saying on a previous show, they're putting Robert there just as a tune-up fight, just to catapult Deontay back to fight, Joshua or Wilder or sorry,
Well,
Wilder, or
okay,
Usyk.
so
Right?
I think basically what they're gonna order next month at the WBC conference that they have or whatever, they're gonna order Ruiz versus Deontay to determine
Deontay's
the
gonna
number
knock him
one.
cold.
He'll knock him out easy. That's not a problem at all. But here's the problem I had with all of it. The commentators,
Yeah,
analysts, everyone, oh, he's back, he's back. Yeah, he's back, but you know what? He still will lose to Fury.
yeah, he just beat up an old guy who's had no chance in the fight.
No, but
He's not back. Like they gave him that fight just so they could say that they knew he was gonna crush this guy. It was a tune-up fight. Shouldn't even have probably happened
no, it shouldn't have happened. But I mean, the reality it is people forget what this man went through
with Fury.
with Fury. Like, I mean, we're talking 12, 7, 12, 19 plus 10 is what, 29, almost 30 rounds these guys
Yep.
fought, right? And it was evident in all 30 rounds. Yeah, he tagged him. Yeah, he put him down. I'm talking about Deontay against
Yep.
Fury. But how many other guys can take those punches and get back up? I don't know anyone else except Fury.
That's the only man that can do that.
That's the only man that can do that. So has Deontay improved? I don't know, because there was nothing there to see.
Can't hard to tell, right? He just literally was like
right.
He barely broke a sweat.
Right. Like, I mean, I think the most exciting thing about Deontay Wilder was watching him in the post-fight press conference. Like, that's one emotional dude. I cannot help not like him. I do like him a lot. I'm a big fan of Deontay Wilder. I think, I'd love to hang out with the guy. I think his emotion and everything he brings. I mean, he's genuinely a good man.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I don't know if he's that great of a boxer that they make him out to be. I'm sorry to say, bro. Like, yeah, you've knocked everybody out, but when you actually fought someone with skill, you couldn't get the job done 3 times.
Yep. I hope we don't ever see a 4th fight. There's no need for that. He finished him off twice. There's no need for a 4th fight. But it'll be nothing but a money grab.
Unfortunately, let's talk about Tyson Fury and the fight that he's about to have on December 3rd against Derek Chisora.
Did you watch that conference today? A little bit of it.
I saw a little bit of it. I haven't fully watched it. There's something I want to say about that. I hope that Tyson Fury isn't on coke again.
He seemed pretty good. He actually saying, I'll give a quick review, but in the stood little stare down. He basically said, I'm not going to name call this guy or shit talk him because he's got big balls to fight me. When Joshua is too scared, Usyk's too scared to fight me. This guy's actually going to fight. Chisora always said, I'm going to fight Fury or a big star on my way out the door. So it's probably Chisora's last fight. He wants a payday. I mean, Fury's already beat him twice. Fury's going to knock him out, but he said, I'm not going to insult this man because at least he'll get in the ring. And Joshua and Usyk are too scared to fight me.
Yeah, no, like I said, I haven't got that far into it.
It was a classy thing.
Yeah. But in the first 10 minutes that I watched, and I've seen a couple other clips now of Tyson Fury, he looks really high strung, bro. Like, he's really doing the coke again.
Maybe if he is, he's gonna get caught in the drug test.
I hope not, man, because either his personality is really, he just looks really jittery. His eyes are just wide open. Like,
I think that's this kind of guy. I think he's clean because he's the kind of guy where if he's gonna bench, he's like a former addict. He's gonna go all out. But he can't just have a couple lines, right?
No, but that's it. Like, that's what I'm saying, though. But just the way he looked kind of, I don't know, man. I hope I'm wrong. Maybe it was just the impression.
I don't think he is, but I mean, I'm not saying that you're wrong, but he'll get caught in the drug test.
No. I gotta go back. Like I said, I'm about 10 minutes into the press conference. And I just had to.
It was nothing amazing. It wasn't your classic Fury, calling them shithouse bums and stuff. It was none of that. It was nothing but respect because he's fighting them.
Yeah.
And Joshua obviously wanted no part of Fury. The fight would have happened, right?
Yeah. No, 100%. Well, I
don't blame the guy.
I don't blame him either, but I mean, I think they could have found a better opponent.
Honestly. I think that Fury, when he beats Derek, he'll eventually in the new year he'll fight Usyk and get it on him.
Let's hope they figure this out, man. Because I mean, once again, the heavy division seems to be at a standstill. I mean, these fights need to be made. Especially the biggest division, the division that everybody knows about the most.
Yeah, the most popular division.
The most popular division in all of sports is the heavyweight boxing division. In terms
it's not about just two big guys fighting that people love it, right? Even though I prefer the lighter weight guys for excitement, but something about two big men fighting.
Well, it's just power. It's just two behemoths. Like the unexpected is supposed to happen when big men get into the ring and start to throw down, right? So I mean, I think they need to figure this out quickly because there's a lot of heavyweights in the wings that aren't getting opportunities. There's a lot of guys that have been screwed out of opportunities because of 4 guys.
Yeah. And I'm disappointed in Joshua and his team. They should have took this fight and made this happen. You could have made this happen. You know what I mean? Like, how come Chisora was made just like that, but you couldn't make it with Joshua? Because he didn't want the fight.
It's a clear indication to me now more than ever that Joshua was created in a lab.
Yeah.
and he can only fight certain caliber. Like, you go in against Joshua, that's going to be 3 in a row. You basically lose. Eddie Hearn loses his meal ticket,
Yeah, I don't blame him for not doing the fight.
right? Like, I mean, at the end of, but this is not the first time. I mean, the only reason Fury and Deontay happened is because they couldn't get the fight done with
He wouldn't do
Joshua,
it. Yeah.
right? He didn't want to fight him then, right? Everybody, I mean, outside of the one fight against Klitschko, which was, again, he was at just 1 foot
Yeah.
out the door. I mean, quite frankly, Joshua hasn't fought anybody he's supposed to fight.
No. And now what's he gonna do? So you just duck Fury. What are you gonna do? You're gonna fight Wilder? Look out, then he's gonna knock you into the front row. So either way, he's gonna have to fight Fury or Wilder or retire.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, that's it. Or he's just going to take stupid fights and fight journeymen, and that's that.
No.
I mean, that's the end of Anthony Joshua, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, let's
Yeah.
see what happens. But hey, let's wrap this up with the final fight of the night. Let's go to Australia. Wow.
Domination.
You know what? Yeah, eventually it became a domination. And here's where I'm going to go with this right now. I mean, I can understand. So George Kambosos came out in the fight, trying something very different. He tried to go southpaw. He kept trying to switch back and forth. Yeah, it confused him a little bit for the first couple of rounds. He couldn't establish anything, really strong, kind of any momentum or anything. But by the third round, he kind of figured him out. And this is where I think George made a mistake, in my opinion. And again, I'm just here. I'm an analyst.
Yeah, we're analyzing what we
Right?
see as we see it. Yeah.
It looked too controlled. His movement looked too mechanical. It's like, this is what he practiced in the gym. That transition from southpaw back to his regular stance. The
Mhm.
movement was so predictable. After every
Took
time that
Haney a
he's
few
doing
rounds
it,
to figure it out, and then he just started
exactly.
taking off on him.
And that's the unfortunate part. Like, I love the concept. I love the idea of what he was trying to do, but he made it too easy
He did.
for Haney to figure out.
At least this time, Kambosos was a little more competitive. He still lost,
Bro, I thought he got way more beaten up in this one.
Yeah, I think he was trying to be a little more aggressive, so Haney just tagged him more and more and more, right? And
Right? He looked more beat up in this one.
I thought Kambosos was going to go down, but he stayed up.
Well, here's the other part that I was going to come to here. So Haney couldn't put him down, and I could, and Andre Ward had said during the fight that he needs to attack the body more, something that Haney admits that, yeah, he should have done that a bit more. Maybe if he'd worked the body a bit more, maybe that would have brought him down. Maybe that would have done something.
Maybe.
But now I'm thinking, okay, so Haney barely made 135. Like, it's hard for him. So does he fight Lomo? Because Lomo's fighting next, right? He fights in a couple of weeks, or this weekend.
29th, same night, Jake Paul and Silva, yeah.
Right. So Lomo's fighting on the 29th, right? He should win that one, by all accounts. So that should set up the fight with Lomo and Haney, if that's
That'd be huge.
That would be a huge fight, right? And I don't think Haney would be ducking him, because he was trying to make the fights with him before, and Lomo wasn't really buying into it, right?
Yeah, they were saying there's about 3 or 4 opponents that Haney wants. Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis, and Lomo.
Yeah.
Next. So
well, those would be the next 3 guys, right? I mean,
yeah.
But I don't know.
I'll tell you right now, I love Lomo, and it's one of my favorite fighters to watch. But if you're gonna make me bet, put some money down, I think Haney's gonna beat him, just because he's a little bit younger, a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger. I don't know. It's going to be a hell of a fight.
I think Haney would beat him just based on his defensive skills.
Yeah,
this is where I'm going to question him a little bit. Now it's his power. This is where I'm kind of scared. If he moves up in weight to 140 and stuff, do you think he'll do well up there? Because, I mean, he couldn't get the knockout on a real beaten up George Kambosos.
I think he'll be okay at 140. I think he'll be okay.
But he'd have to, I think
if you look at Kambosos and Haney just looks way bigger and stronger than him, right? Just like that played a part in this fight too.
That did play a part, and absolutely.
I wonder what he actually fought at. He probably is weighing 145 or something at the fight.
Possibly. But my concern is with Haney moving up. Would he have the power to compete against those other guys that do have power?
I don't think he'll be knocking them down, but he could win decisions.
He win decisions. He's kind of like a Floyd, right?
Kind of like a Floyd, a better human being than Floyd, but yeah, like a Floyd style, yeah.
I think he's almost better than Floyd a lot in defense.
He looks good. He's only 23, man. He's scary good.
The guy's crisp.
He's not even
because
in his prime yet. This is the
no,
scary part.
he's still a kid.
He's crisp. Every punch, he looks. It's fun to watch. He's one of my
Yeah.
favorite fighters to watch.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, from a pure scientific, technical standpoint, I think he's
Great guy
probably,
too.
yeah, I mean, I would love to, I think we should have him on the show, hopefully one of these days. Let's see what we can do.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, that'd be great. No, he won 100%. I'm just concerned by his power. I just don't know if he has the power necessary. Like he can go through all these other divisions with his defensive skills and whatnot.
Mhm.
But at what point will his power cost him something?
That's a fair question. Yeah, I don't think he quite has the power, but I mean,
Right?
maybe he's still young. He's only 23. Maybe he will.
Like if he goes up against a tank or something. Now, I'm taking nothing away from George Kambosos, but we're talking of different caliber fighters when we're
Yep.
starting to talk about Tank Davis and when we're talking about Ryan Garcia. But then again, you know what? I like Ryan Garcia a lot too, but I still need to see him fight somebody credible.
Yeah, that's the thing. He needs that. But like, who's his next fighter? They haven't even announced it yet. He needs to fight some of the, like you said, somebody credible with some of the A-list fighters. They always say he's the next thing. He's the next thing. We'll get in the ring and beat somebody then.
But we can say that about all of them, really, at the end of the day. I mean, let's think about it. I mean, who's Tank really fought?
Nobody have none of the A-plus players yet.
Well, you know what? I would say there's 6 guys in that group that I would put all together. I would say Javante,
Mm-hmm.
Haney, Shakir,
Yeah, he's good too.
Garcia, Isaac Cruz,
Yeah, Pitbull.
and Tiafimo.
What about your boy Lomo?
Oh, okay, take Tiafimo out, put Lomo in there. Sorry.
I think Tiafimo's going to be back in the mix in a few more fights, though. I think he's coming back up.
Well, he's already gone up to 140.
That's what, but I think he's going to get back into the mix of things. Here, one more fight, he's going to be right back in the middle.
Yeah, he'll be in the middle. But here's what I'm saying: these are the 6 guys potentially at 135.
Yeah,
right? Those 6 guys should have a tournament or something.
that'd be cool.
That'd be fun, right? Shakir Stevenson was making, a reference to that. That's where I kind of got it from. So, Shakir was saying, yeah, the 6 of us should do something like, 135 tournament or something. Because I mean, he's moving up. I mean, Shakir's moving up from 130 to 135, right? I mean,
Yeah,
he's going up there. So I mean, Shakir Haney, but would they ever fight? They're good buds.
Hard to say. Yeah,
that would be a solid fight, man.
That would be a great fight. Speaking of good fight, they're saying the week before the Super Bowl, February 4th, that Crawford and Spencer finally going to do it. I knew it wasn't happening this year, but they're saying the week before the Super Bowl, February 4th, is going to happen. I don't know if it will, but that's what they're saying.
Well, let's hope it does. I mean, Earl Spence is kind of going off a little bit here. I was reading an article earlier today. He's saying all the holdup is with Crawford.
Could be. It's possible.
Right? He goes, because of that fucker, I could have fought this November.
Yeah, he's holding it off for this big fight. Yeah.
Right. And, it's just he keeps pointing the finger back at Crawford, and Crawford hasn't really responded. So it makes me wonder, okay, well, how much is Crawford, is he afraid of him, or is he just afraid of the clout? Like
maybe he's waiting him out. Maybe he's dealing with a little bit of an injury and trying to stall a bit. I'm not sure, but he's gonna have to face the music eventually.
Yeah. How does the top 10 pound for pound guys work, man?
So everybody has different promoters and they work for different, companies and stuff. So it's like,
I don't understand how Devin Haney is not on that list. He might be now. He might be now. I haven't checked it, but last time he wasn't. Yeah, but he should be on the top of that list, near the top of that list. I mean, he became undisputed, won the titles, defended the titles, and he still can't make the list.
Yeah, I know. Some of that list is just.
Terrence Crawford fought once. Has he even fought in 2022?
I know. And he's on the list still.
Shakir Stevenson has fought twice this year, at least.
Yeah.
Right? The ones we watched it. Inoue is not fighting till December 13th. How does he keep making the list?
I don't know. Maybe the boxing writers that vote really like the guy.
For what? Like, I don't get it. I don't understand what the criteria is. We got to find someone who knows how these rankings work and have them come explain it to us. And
I don't even think they can explain it because it makes no sense.
well, someone has to understand it, because
I think a bunch of the writers vote on it, right? And they kind of rank it from there. A few of the boxing writers,
makes no sense, man.
like a Hall of Fame vote.
You know what? I am going to reach out to Mr. Dan Raphael, and I'm going to ask him, would you please come on the Samp&Chance boxing pod to help us understand how this fucking works? Because
and I can almost guarantee he's going to say, I have no idea. He'll say kind of the boxing writers vote, and it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but he's a boxing writer, so he must be voting too. So what's your criteria?
Possible.
Right?
I'm going to check the list right now, actually.
Yeah, please
see if
do.
we have updated.
I mean, it should be updated. It's usually updated on the Tuesdays.
Yeah, let me pull this up here and see what we got.
No worries. While we're looking at that, why don't I tell you guys that Kambosos threw, pardon me, only landed 100 of 417 shots attempted.
Wow.
Where Haney only landed, actually, Haney only landed 147, but he threw 588. I mean, if you look at the total punch percentages,
yeah,
Haney only outpunched him by 1%, 25 to 24.
Yeah, he's still on it, dude. I'm looking at it right now.
But the volume, but is he on it?
Terrence Crawford's still on it, dude.
Number one?
Number one still.
Who's number two?
Earl Spence. What's that?
Who's number two? Let's go through the list.
Take a guess.
Number two would be Inoa.
Yep.
How come? What has he done?
I don't know, dude. 3 is Errol Spence, 4 is Canelo, 5 is Fury, Usyk is 6, Beterbiev is 7, Bivol is 8, Lomachenko is 9, Shakur Stevenson is 10.
No Haney.
Not yet.
Undisputed champion, won the title away from home, defended the title away from home in the same year.
Crazy.
And he still can't get up. And sorry, whose rankings are those you're looking at, by the way?
That's ESPN.
And this guy fights for fucking top rank.
Yeah. They're close.
You know why they're doing this? Aram has a hard on for 90-year-old man. Yeah, I'm sure you can still get it up. He gets it up for Lomo so hard.
He said Lomo's one of his favorite fighters I've ever seen.
Yeah, so I can almost get a sense of what they're trying to do here, because Devin Haney only fought a 3-fight contract to get the shot against Kambosos and whatnot. That's the only way they could have done it. They weren't going to work with Matchroom and Eddie Hearn to get this fight done. So he had to leave Matchroom, and respect to Eddie Hearns for letting him go.
Yeah, that was nice of him.
Right? Like, okay, go do your thing, bro. Right? With the hopes that he'll come back. And I'm pretty certain that he wants to go back to Eddie Hearn as soon as he can. Top Rank, I think, wants to do the Lomo fight, thinking Lomo's going to kick his ass and take the titles.
Could be. Might be what they're thinking, yeah.
Right? But based on what you said, I think he can beat Lomo.
I think he would be the favorite in that fight for sure.
Right? And I think that's what scares them right now. Like, they don't want him to leave with the belts.
And Lomo's getting older. He's like 35, 34, 35 now.
Well, he is.
Right.
You know, if that fight's going to happen, it won't happen till the new year anyways, right?
Yeah, it's not happening this year. I'm looking forward to Lomo's next fight.
Yeah, so let's see what he looks like on the 29th.
And don't forget, on the 29th, you got your boy Le'Veon Bell versus what's that UFC fighter's name? I just watched their press conference. Uriah Hall. Yeah. Le'Veon Bell. Uriah Hall.
What's going to be an interesting night? I mean, I think October 29th is the next big, cluster of fights.
Not much this weekend, but 29th is the big one.
Well, this
almost
week,
fighting Anderson Silva and Jake Paul.
Yeah, this week and next week are kind of slow. Things.
Well, no, next week will be the 29th.
Oh, sorry. This week is kind of slow.
This week there's not much.
Yeah, let me just bring up the schedule here really quick. Okay, so this Thursday, today, you got Floyd Schofield against Daniel Roja. Friday, October 21st, Ali Ismailov against Rajadev Kajasic. Yep. This Saturday, Mauricio Lara against Jose San Martin. That should actually be a good fight. I mean, as a boxing fan.
That's for the hardcores, yeah.
Yeah. Friday, October 28th, we have Guido Vinello against Jay McFarland, the heavyweights. Don't know much about that one, so.
No, I don't either.
But then Saturday, we got Joseph Diaz against William Cepeda. That's going to be a good fight. Jake Paul Anderson Silva card. That's going to be a good fight.
Just a good
Vasily
fight. Not a bad
Lomachenko.
card.
No, Vasily Lomachenko against Jermaine Ortiz. That should be interesting. And Ortiz got a chip on his shoulder, man.
He does.
Right? I mean, no one's talking about the fact that he's undefeated.
Well, he's gonna be he's a good fighter.
But like I said, you can't take him lightly, right? I mean, everyone's on the Lomo train, and I love Lomo. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, me too.
But let's find out. Katie Taylor against Karen Elizabeth Carabajal. I said that wrong. I
He's fighting this weekend.
Yeah, no, this is all on the 29th, man.
Oh, the 29th. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I guess after that, Dimitri Bivol against Gilberto Ramirez. That's on November the 5th.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. And basically that's it for the time being. I mean, there's a lot of fights.
December 3rd, we got Fury and Chisora.
December 3rd, you got Fury and Chisora. I mean, I don't know.
Well,
I don't know what to say.
Fury, but
not sure how to play that one out. I mean, it's just gonna be. I think
Fury's
that's
gonna knock him out and send him in retirement. It's a quick payday for Chisora. I mean, the guy's got hurt. He knows he's gonna get knocked out.
No, I don't blame Chisora at all. I just think it's a waste of a fight.
I think Fury just wants to stay active when he's going to fight Usyk next, right? No, we wanted to fight him. He tried to fight Josh, I wouldn't do it. So he's like, "I'll fight Chisora, he'll fight me," and then kind of stay fresh for when he fights Usyk, I guess.
Yeah, I would love to be a fly on the wall for that one, man, to understand what the fuck was going on with Fury and Joshua. Because I mean, even if this was the last
I think
fight,
Joshua didn't want no part of it.
Well, Joshua would be smart to take the fight because I mean, if Chisora is going to make, say, let's just hypothetically say,
yeah,
Chisora makes about $2 to $4 million for this fight. He's set. He's set for the rest of his life. If Joshua were to fight him, he would have probably made 20 to 30 million
easily
because of his name.
Biggest fight of the year. Well, it wouldn't even be close. No fight would even come close to this fight. This is even bigger than Spence and Crawford. It would be huge.
Right? It would be massive. Then that's on him, man.
I know.
You know, that's on him.
Eddie Hearn will have all the excuses in the world, but they knew in the back of their minds we don't want to do this.
But they know they can't do it because he won't win.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, but then again, weirder things have happened. Who knows?
You never know, Joshua. Yeah, he's no slouch. I mean, it could, like you said, anything can happen out there.
We're talking about the guy like he's like shit. I mean, he's not shit. He's a good fighter, but he's just not. Fighter. He's not
always in great shape. Chiseled like a Greek god.
Maybe that's the problem with him. Maybe he's too chiseled. Maybe he.
All that muscle, you get you tired. He's carrying all the muscle around.
You would know this, right? I mean, how much oxygen is needed for your muscles?
I don't know the exact number, but the more muscle you carry, the slower you move.
Right, you need more oxygen to function.
Yeah, you need more muscle you have on.
Right, so I mean, maybe that's something. I'm not saying go plump and Fury style, but I mean, maybe he needs to tone down a bit on.
Well, look at that. Look at all the NFL quarterbacks. None of them have good arms. All their arms are skinny, but they could still. An MLB pitcher, they could still whale that ball. You know what I mean? They said they don't want their arms too big because they won't get as much motion. So
well, it's all about dexterity and extension, right?
Exactly. So
I mean, you show me a bodybuilder, like a top form bodybuilder who can wipe his own ass.
Yes, never thought of that. Yeah, not many.
Right? Yeah. How many of those guys can scratch that one itch in the center of their back? I mean, they're basically walking Tyrannosaurus Rexes.
Yeah, a lot of pressure on their heart.
Yeah, no, 100%. Anything happened on this day?
Yes, actually it did.
What happened on this day?
2000, Tyson fought Andrew Galata. Wasn't very good fight. I mean, 3 rounds. In the second round, Galata was telling his corner, "I quit. I don't want to keep going." He actually said off of the stool, and they said, "Russ, you want to keep going? You got some time?" He said, "No." After the fight, he had a broken bone in his face. He had a concussion and a herniated disc.
Oh, wow.
The funny thing is, even though Tyson got the TKO in the 3rd round, he lost the fight. Why did he lose the fight? Tested positive for marijuana after the fight. Fight was overturned. Yeah, so a 3-round fight. The crowd is booing because he quit. They want to see a bigger fight, like a longer fight. Galata was a big boy in those days, but Tyson just smashed him. But yeah, it ended up no contest because he tested positive for marijuana after the fight. This is October 20th, 2000, so 22 years ago in Detroit.
Yeah, I saw the fight, and a lot of people thought that he was having a nervous breakdown of sorts. He just couldn't handle it anymore.
Well, I guess he got concussed in the fight. You
Well,
got the
that,
broken bone in your face, you're hurting your disc in your back.
yeah. I mean, unbeknown at the in the moment, a lot of people thought he had a nervous breakdown. I
Yeah.
remember, right? Like, oh, this, he was crying and he was
Mhm.
upset, and he's kind of like, holy shit, like that's some heavy stuff. Like that goes beyond boxing.
Yeah,
It was a
yeah,
real mental health issue. But then we find out it was a concussion that probably made him cry.
herniated disc,
The herniated disc and the broken eye
one
socket.
space. Yeah.
So
So
I
it's
mean,
like that's it. But he ended up not losing the fight technically on the books. But Tyson
it's
had
a
marijuana.
it's a nice little recipe for a fucking breakdown, I guess, right?
Yeah,
So
pretty much. So that he got smashed. But
there you go, there you go. All right, Chance Michaels, man. It's been great. Let's
good
close
one.
out this week on a bang. Not much going on, like we said. I mean, there are some fights this weekend, but they are for the hardcores.
Next weekend's when it really picks up.
Yeah, no, 100%. On a completely different related note, guys, like and subscribe. Look at the bottom of the screen here. You'll see all our handles and you'll know where to find us. Also, Loft Country Wrestling is happening this
I was
week.
just about to say, if you want to meet Bobby Sampson and Chance Michaels, come to Aldergrove on Saturday. We'll be there.
Absolutely. You'll be there?
I'll be there. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, what
So,
time does the show start? Is show 7 or 6?
well, I believe the doors open at 6:30 and the show starts at 7.
Okay, good. Because I'll be there right at 7 because
Okay.
my kids got we'll be there.
Right. So we got that going on Saturday, and then on Sunday, guys, if you're in Vancouver, come down to the Rio Theater to check
What time is
out.
that at?
It'll be in the afternoon. I think it's somewhere between 1 and 3 o'clock. But guys, go to the RioTheater.com,
Yeah,
check it out. Come down, support our friend Scotty Mack, support our good friend Rusty Nixon,
Please, yeah.
for this amazing film
I
called
haven't seen any clips or anything. I'm excited to see because I don't know. You've seen them. I haven't even seen it, so I'm excited to.
Yeah,
see
I
it.
got
I know it's going to be
lucky.
good though.
I got lucky to see the film even before Scotty did.
Cool.
Yeah. So I mean, I was really privileged and lucky to get a sneak peek at this film, and I'll tell you what, Chance, it's good.
I believe it. Yeah, Rusty does good work.
Yeah,
So.
it's really good. It's really enjoyable. I haven't seen the final cut. So the cut I saw was the editor's cut.
Okay.
So I'm sure it's pretty close to what I saw, but I mean, it was really fun. It's a really fun film. Guys, if you have nothing going on, I think it's going to be raining this weekend. So Loft Country, nice place to stay nice and dry. And Sunday afternoon, downtown, you know what? Come check it out. We'll be there. I'll be there for both occasions. So yeah, try to make it happen, guys. On that note, I am Bobby Sampson. I'm always joined with my man, Mr. Chance Michaels.
And in the words of the great AC/DC, those that download, like, and subscribe to the podcast, we salute you.
We do salute you. And in the words of Ed Whalen, the immortal Ed Whalen, in the meantime and in between time, that's it for Samp&Chance. Have a great evening, everybody. And hey, until we talk to you again, please be safe and enjoy the weekend. Samp&Chance out. Good night.